some of that.
Okay, I'm ready now, so I'll count us down.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1, go. And for those on the stream, here we go, guys. Welcome back to our second game in the Slam versus Liereyy series. 3-game series here. We've got Lierey's home map now because he did lose game number 1 on Serengeti. It's going to be 1-0 to Slam going into this. And we've got Arabia right here. Joining me once again, MajorQueros, and I'll let you introduce the players and the civs.
Okay, so in the blue here on the left side of the map, we got Liereyy playing with the Indians. And then over to the right side of the map, we got in the red Slam, also playing as the Indians.
Yeah, I find that quite amusing because I got the impression that after maybe 1 or 2 rounds, we're just going to start seeing Indian mirrors because of how popular they are at the moment as a pick and how high their win rate has been, not just in this tournament, but in previous events as well. I actually do feel like eventually we might get past that, though. I mean, TaToH earlier on today did demonstrate that the Celts are able to beat the Indians quite convincingly in the right hands. So we've got an Indian war, and I think this is the first Indian war of the tournament. So now it's going to come down to like mechanics. You know, who's the mechanically better player? Who can micro better? Who can macro under pressure better? Who can play the better game? Since there's no difference in civilization bonuses to contend with.
Yeah, that is what I personally like about the mirror matchups, that there is no civ advantage. But what you said earlier, that Indians, yeah, they are just really strong. I already, like I said earlier, they can do pretty much any strat, as far as I know, in Dark Age and Feudal Age. And even in team games, yeah, they do very well as well. So yeah, we'll have to see who's the better mechanical player here.
Yeah, I think the only real downside to the Indians is that they don't have knights. So, you know, in the Castle Age, their hand is kind of forced a little bit more towards crossbows or like a defensive style play. And I think that's something that a lot of the players have done with the Indians. They've defended, and countered, and then they've got to the later stages of the game and transitioned into a very powerful army composition, whatever that may be, which is suitable to the match they're playing. But in this case, I think it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I mean, my guess is that we'll probably see scouts into archers, and we're going to see, I think we'll see a kind of more typical kind of meta game in this one, since they're not, it's not an asymmetrical civ matchup, and I don't think the Indians will feel that pressure to counter so hard and try and make it to the late game so hard. I think they'll try and match each other more, and I think that's a good thing because I like to see a crossbow micro. It's my favorite things in the game.
Yeah, I think I've seen quite a lot of Slam games, and what he likes to do a lot is go man-at-arms into archers or man-at-arms into towers, and well, pretty much any civ can do that, so maybe Indians can pull it off quite nicely as well. Yeah, scouts is also a possibility, but it might depend a little bit on the map of the players, what they gonna pick.
Yeah, so speaking of the map, I mean, the first thing that's kind of jumping out to me is the gold positions for both players. It's all on the front. There's like no gold in the back for either of them. No safe gold at all. Lierey's actually walled out a gold on the south, and then the other golds are towards the front of his base, and the same is for Slam here as well. So that could invite some aggression from either player. Oh, just looking at Slam's base, this boar ran back, which is not ideal, but also not the end of the world, I guess. But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on the maps at the moment?
I think it seems like Slam's map is a little bit easier to wall off. His left side and his front is quite easy to wall off. The only thing is really his right side. It's open, and there also are quite a lot of hills, so that might be a little bit nasty. So that I do think about Slam maps, but Lierey's map is even more open, I feel, especially the right and the front. But his gold is a little bit closer to the TC. It's also not quite as forward as Slam's map. So I feel like Slam should be should be the aggressor here.
Yeah, and I think as well, Lierey's wood lines are just further away in general. Other than this one that's to the south of his TC, which is actually in not a very good position because this hill on the right side could invite a lot of damage from Slam if he takes this hill and starts attacking the wood here. And then, you know, his other wood lines are really far forward, so he's gonna have to, I guess, close this out somehow. For the meantime, though, it's going to be pretty tough. Whereas Slam can wall between these two forward wood lines, and you can see he's actually already doing that with the villager out here, making sure that that main gold is secured. And although it's quite far forward, by walling out here, he will secure that. And he's also walling up to the south as well. So
it's a pretty big wall.
Major walling from Slam here. Major wall loss.
Yeah. It's for Liereyy, it's a bit harder. Although it seems like he's already trying there with the house and the barracks to get the wall off right there. And then if he gets a palisade from the stone to the wood, then at least that side of the map should be safe.
Yeah, it's something. I mean, it's just the problem with walling so far away from your base is that, you know, in the mid game, when you've not upgraded to a stone wall or anything, or like, you know, when it's just one layer of palisade, it's so weak and you can't send anything out to wall behind it in time. So it can become a risk. But obviously in the early game, very vital to at least close some portion of your map off so that you've not got open flanks on both sides. Liereyy dropping down the stable. Slam. No military production building so far because he's still in the Dark Age, right? He's up to the Feudal Age now. And is it going to be... What is it? It's stable on the north side. So it will be scouts from both by looks of it.
That's a shame. I always like seeing Slam going man-at-arms. But yeah, scouts is just really nice as well. And he was, 20 villagers up. So that's not enough for man-at-arms either. But quite a fast scout rush still. Usually you will see players go 21, 22 if they want to get some more scouts out. But if they want to be really fast, then 20 is the way to go.
Yeah, it's definitely doable. And I think with the Indians as well, I mean, you're dealing with cheaper villagers from the start of the game. So you're saving a little bit of food there, and you start seeing players going up that much faster because of it. So right now, Liereyy is actually going to get walled into Slam's base here. Going to take a little bit of additional damage from the scout of Slam as he runs back. And for the time being, I mean, I think by the time Liereyy even gets his second and third scout over there, Slam's going to be completely walled in. And he's not done the most efficient wall. I mean, he could have walled up a little bit between these cliffs instead, but it's going to do the trick. And that's something we saw from Slam last game as well, and it worked out in his favor. So we'll see if Lierey's able to find any holes or anything here, but I think it's unlikely.
Yeah, indeed, for now completely walled off, and Slam getting his scouts out, trying to get a little bit of damage done already, trying to use the hill in his favor. But that one scout, that is going to go down. And that's already nice for Slam, so he's one scout ahead.
Yeah, he's deleting his wall now to let his own scout out as well, re-walling behind it. And as you say, it's 4 versus 3 scouts now. Lierey's kind of mirroring, though, and he is also building these walls up. And you know, when you consider how many walls Slam's built, how big this wall off is, Liereyy is probably not even going to spend as much resources there. Oh, I'm laughing again because this is the second time in this tournament where I've seen Liereyy build like a completely worthless wall. He's actually walled the cliffs down in the south, and there's like nothing on the other side but more. I think he's realized that now, but that's quite funny to see. Yeah, in the center of the map, Lierey's going to push it back. He's now got 1 scout advantage, and Slam's going to run away.
Yeah, so far Slam couldn't really do much yet. I actually wonder why he is chasing the scouts as he... Oh wait, never mind. Yeah, there you go. Slam getting out a spear now, so that's why I was running back.
Yeah.
Just wait for the spear, yeah.
So, both players, I mean, this is going to be one of those games where you've just got this like early game stalemate. Nobody's able to do any damage because the walls are just a hard counter to everything right now. But still, I mean, trying to get the scout advantage, trying to claim the map control and remove your opponent's scouts from the map is going to be nice because they can start doing some chip damage on the walls. They can start pressuring the walls and forcing their opponent to have to send villagers out to re-wall behind it. So it's certainly worth trying to still get the upper hand in these engagements right now. Slam coming in with this spear though, and that's just the big deal breaker here for Liereyy. He can't really take the fight he wants, but by kiting this army around, he can try and avoid the spear for now. This isn't actually too bad at all.
Yeah, he got sniped off one scout there, and it seems like another scout. Oh, Slam just saved it. And now, yeah, Liereyy has to run downhill, not wanting to fight uphill. But so far Liereyy is doing quite good.
Yeah, I mean, considering there is a spearman like hot on their heels, he's taking the hills and then turning it around, getting some damage, and then getting out before he loses anything. It's actually pretty good for him. But yeah, right now, both players adding in a lot of farms. We've got the blacksmith coming up for Slam, and we're going to see the castle age coming in for both players very soon here. Looks like, oh, okay, so Lierey's going to lose the scouts now as well in the south.
I traded them even, but there is still one low HP scout, or two even. Yeah, so he should be. He can't really do much with that anymore.
Yeah, it's gonna get cleaned up, and there's not enough. Well, I mean, Lierey's done enough damage to Slam scouts that they're not going to be a problem now either. Going into the castle age, they're not going to be attacking his walls and doing too much damage there. So it's okay for both players at this point, I would say. I mean, right now both players are on 33 villagers. Slam's clicked up to the castle age a little bit faster, and Liereyy is probably about to click up in just a moment here. Oh wait, is it? Hold on a second. It's the overlay is telling me the wrong thing. Liereyy is up to the castle age faster, and Slam is just clicking up right now. So actually, Lierey's... Are they switched on the score here? Is it back to front?
I'm not entirely sure what is going on.
Yeah, it's the names are switched.
Now.
The names are switched on the overlay. Maybe I need to reset it. Maybe that'll fix it.
Yeah, for me it's
it's right now. It's right now. Good. It's still in development. But yeah, okay. So Lierey's going up with 33 vils, and Slam's going up with 34. But Liereyy is quite a way faster to the castle age here. So, yeah, go ahead.
He should be ahead in that case. Also, Slam already adding a new stable, so he should go camels in that case, or maybe even light cav. But I think camels might be better. But then again, Liereyy is completely walled, so I do wonder what Slam's plan is at the moment with that second stable.
Yeah, sure. I mean, well, the palisades aren't going to put up too much of a defense against a few camels, for example. But the problem is for Slam, I mean, he doesn't know what's going on behind the walls. He doesn't know if Lierey's built something in the fog here. He doesn't really have much of an idea. He's kind of just shooting in the dark. The same as for Liereyy, though. I mean, Liereyy has no idea what's going on the other side of the map either, and both players are playing quite in the dark. And I think that's why Liereyy is going to play a little more defensive and build the monastery, probably anticipating some more cavalry coming his way. And meanwhile, we've got a camel coming out for Liereyy, I think. A couple of camels. And I think the same for Slam, too, once he gets to the castle age.
Yeah, now thinking about it, going crossbow with Indian mirror match, that is just not a possibility because of the higher pierce armor for the camels. So as long as you have then enough camels, then you should be able to even counter crossbows, or at least put decent fight against crossbows.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, I think yes and no, because the camels have less base pierce armor. So a knight has 2 pierce armor without any upgrades, whereas a camel has none. I guess the Indian camels have 1 base, technically. But I still think crossbows are viable. I think it just depends on how the game builds up. And, with enough numbers, we know that crossbows beat knights. And I think against camels, they would do better as well. But in the way this has gone, with both players walling up, I think it's too risky to let your opponent get to the castle age very quickly when in an Indian match, because now they're in the castle age. Villagers are costing 40 food. They can afford to build 3 TCs and make military at the same time, and that's kind of a scary thing to have to deal with if you're still in feudal. Yeah,
so basically booming and making military at the same time. But I do like Lierey's choice to get a monk out there that prevents Slam from really going in. I also wonder what that villager going forward there was trying to do.
I think I missed the village. Oh, the forward villager from Slam.
Yeah, he was building a house in the middle of the map.
Well, you never know. I mean, he could drop a Siege Workshop down or something to try and pressure the walls, but I think coming up against enough resistance to not want to kind of throw that down there and take the risk. But we got monks for both players, actually, and I think we're going to see a very similar playstyle from both at this rate, as they're practically mirroring each other. However, I mean, I would say Liereyy is definitely getting ahead in villager count. He's 5 vills up already. In terms of upgrades, they are... Well, it's actually Slam going to take the upgrade advantage here. And also, if he gets a conversion, he might take the military army advantage as well. In fact, he will.
Yeah, he's that's really nice play there from the scouts that were still left. Then he can easily snipe the monk, and now he can start to push out again with the monks and with the camels.
Yeah, it was good from Slam. The problem is, I mean, this is the issue with camels, though. You can have these skirmishes in the middle of the map, but when it comes to sending your camels into your enemy's eco to go and do some damage, you're not really packing much of a punch. You're taking additional damage from the TCs, and they're not great at dealing damage to your opponent's eco. So they're kind of sitting in the middle of the map, taking these little skirmishes, and yeah, I mean, they're not really going to be able to do anything with it necessarily for a while.
Yeah, so now Liereyy defending with some more monks, and Slam trying to get a conversion as well, but so far no luck for him. Also, Slam not trying to snipe a monk, but is that gonna work? No, 1 conversion for Liereyy, nice. But that is 2 monks down, so far pretty decent engagement for Slam.
Yeah, Slam's gonna take all the monks out, and those scouts... Talk about value, guys in the chat. Talk about value. This scout's getting all the monk kills. Really, really good. Slam's going to go in, take a lot of damage from the TC, so immediately back out again. But definitely trading much more effectively as Slam here. 13 units killed, 8 lost. And Lierey's killed 6 and lost 16. And that's obviously a bit kooky because of the conversions being accounted for. But yeah, Slam right now almost, well, not almost, but... getting ahead in military, and Lierey's still 1 villager ahead. So I guess Lierey's had less idle time at the TC. Sorry, Slam's had less idle time at the TC. I think Liereyy did handcart, actually. I think I saw that coming in, which Slam didn't do.
Yeah. But so far, really, really nice for Slam. He has the extra monks out as well, so he can start healing his camels again, and then he is ready to go. Whereas, yeah, Liereyy just lost all his.
Yeah, sure, and we've got the forward Siege Workshop as well from Slam now.
There it is.
Although Lierey's already prepared with that. I mean, he's already got his own Siege Workshop up. But, you know, I always kind of feel a little bit like it's a difficult situation when you're playing so defensively like this. You're giving up all map control. You're walling yourself into a tiny corner of the map. And I can't count the times where I've seen this go wrong for the player in that position. Slam is actually up to the Imperial Age right now. And that's quite impressive when you consider how he's actually built more military this game as well.
Yeah, indeed. That is really, really the power of the Indians. And they're such a nice civilization to have in Imperial as well. Even better than in Castle Age. You can go hand cannoneer, bombard cannon, or just upgrade your camels. Well, what can't you do? You know, you can even go arbalest. Although in this case, that's not going to happen. There are really a lot of possibilities.
It's kind of tough. I think. Well, actually, Liereyy is adding an archery range right now, so we'll see what he does with that. I think the answer is really to go into hand cannons and get the late sort of chemistry tech stuff, but. Liereyy is going to be a lot later clicking up to Imp here. I mean, there's a very big difference in it at this point. Slam's already at 50%, while Lierey's only just clicked up. And again, as I said before, Slam has complete map control, so it's looking really good for him right now as he sends villagers forward. Is that a castle drop from Slam? Must be.
Let's see. Where do you see that?
In the center of the map, Slam's sending a bunch of vills forward. He's got 700 stone, so it's surely going to be a castle drop for him. Lierey's not even gathered that much stone. He's got like 4 vills on stone here, so like Slam's macro has been so good this game, actually.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed as well, and the castle will really help him to get a nice spot to fall back on. And indeed, there it goes, quite forward actually. And yeah, with Slam up to Imperial first, he might consider getting traps out instead of Bombard Cannon, because Bombard Cannon will take quite a while. But there is Liereyy with the Mangonel. Can he get a good shot out of this? Nope. Still have to deal with the Mangonel himself.
Yeah, sorry, I think I'm a little bit ahead of you. I'm going to slow down slightly. I'm at 29.45 right now.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I think you've fallen behind a little bit. But yeah, the Imperial Age tech for Slam just coming in as that castle is being completed. And we'll see. I mean, Slam, I imagine he's going to get a Treb straight out. At the moment, though, we've got Iron Castellan coming in, and I'm going to see what other techs he's got going. He's not got a university, so we're not going to see chemistry coming in. For a while, so it's got to be a Treb surely then in that case. With that castle there though, Liereyy is going to be feeling the heat. So he's got no map control at all. He's being penned in now to a small corner, and Slam's kind of got him in the palm of his hand, I feel.
Yeah, that's quite bad for him. He is getting the castle up himself, so that will that is quite decent, as he then doesn't have to wait for chemistry and so on if he wanted to, as that is quite slow. Now, quite a big fight going on right there. Let's see. Some crossbows as well.
The crossbows coming in from Liereyy here, definitely helping out. That TC doing quite a bit of additional damage as well. Crossbows at the back actually sniping the monks. But I think Slam got quite a good number of conversions in there. And these camels, man, they are just so... Well, they're still alive. The castle wasn't completed in time to really do much damage, and Lierey's lost most of his army in that engagement as that castle now completes. But Slam already has the first trebuchet out, the second one is on the way, and Liereyy is now under so much pressure here. It's mounting as these camels just aren't dying.
No, they are really strong, and if you would get it up to Imperial Camel, although you don't see that often in Imperial Age or in 1v1, then they are just they kill all.
Yeah, they just everything. What can't they do?
Everything goes down. Yeah.
Liereyy is doing chemistry though, and you know, if he can get chemistry in, and if he can keep this castle alive and stall Slam and get enough time to build a bombard cannon, then he could deal with these trebs. And with a few hand cannons in the mix, he can deal quite well with the camels as well. Hand cannons hit hard, and I think that's exactly what he wants to do. Meanwhile, we have got a heavy camel coming in for Slam. We've got the plate barding armor now, so they've got 5 pierce armor and heavy camel about to complete. But Slam doesn't have that many camels out, really. These techs are very expensive. They're very slow. I mean, heavy camel takes years, and he's only got like 8 camels as well. So Lierey's actually able to defend for now with a few crossbows. It's enough to keep him away, and as long as he can keep this castle up until chemistry's done and he can get a bombard cannon, I feel like Liereyy does have a shot at defending this.
Yeah, definitely. For now, though, I think Slam is quite fine with the heavy camel with the mangonel. You know, the crossbows won't really do that much. But once chemistry is being done, then that should be the other way around. Because yeah, Slam doesn't really have a lot of army at all.
No, he's running in now with the camels. Oh wait, no, he's going back. And meanwhile, the castle for Liereyy has gone down. And I mean, that's the problem there. I mean, Slam just had the edge with the production. Meanwhile, Liereyy has completed Arbalest, and the chemistry tech is done. So the bombard cannon is coming out. And it looks like he's going to keep building the Arbalest here, actually. Meanwhile, doing halbs as well.
I'm surprised by the Arbalest, again, with the extra pierce armor for the camels. And yeah, Arbalest, well, I don't know, but I think that would have been better spent in other units. You do get the archer upgrades for the hand cannoneers already, so that's something. But other than that, yeah, I think Arbalest might have been a bit too much.
Yeah, maybe. I think the hand cannons might have been a better choice here. I just think they're a little more versatile. They hit a little harder. But right now we've got an elephant archer out for Slam, obviously seeing that the Arbalest are in here as he runs forward with the heavy camels now. I think he's trying to snipe the bombard cannons because they are able to deal with his trebs quite nicely. But yeah, there's just too many Arbalest here for Slam to really be able to do, or to be able to snipe the bombards, that is, anyway. Meanwhile, the trebs are going to pack up from Slam, and it looks like we're going to see more elephant archers coming out because they are just that good.
Yeah, it's quite funny to see. I don't see them a lot at all in 1v1s because they're so slow, quite expensive as well. Yeah, fun to see them here. I think you might use them to just get a little bit more tank on the front line.
Yeah,
Oh,
Liereyy
Liereyy there
throwing
with the
away.
bomber cannon.
Yeah, throwing it
Oh.
away on the front. That was a little messy. But, I mean, look at the villager count right now. Liereyy is ahead in vills. He has been for a while. He's ahead in military as well. But it's certainly not so bad for him. He just has to clean up this castle. And it's almost like Slam's giving him it to him. He's retreated his army right back. And he's just kind of giving him this castle here. Meanwhile, he's building 2 more castles behind it. Perhaps it's just a sacrificial lamb here from Slam. But it's, yeah, kind of strange you just give that away. I just don't think he feels comfortable to take an engagement. And he knows he probably needs to switch his army composition up a little bit in order to actually push in and fight Liereyy toe-to-toe right now.
Yeah, so he is actually going with more elephant archers from the castle. So is that going to be his army composition here? You know, just go camels and elephants.
It could be. I mean, it really could be.
Yeah.
Has he stopped production? I don't know, Slam. It's looking strange. He's doing fletching right now. He's doing more elephant archers. It's going to take a long time to get these guys upgraded, though. And you know, look at his wood economy in the back. It's really inefficient. He's walking miles with the wood, and he needs a lot of wood eco to sustain this. So I don't think his eco is really set up for this, to be honest. But we'll see how it goes. As Liereyy is now pushing out, the castle's gone. Lierey's getting heavy camel. He's getting thumb ring. He's going to be getting more upgrades on his arbalest as well. And yeah, I think that actually Slam could have been better off investing into Imperial Camels here. His eco was going to be better set up for that. But he's going into this Elephant Archer switch.
Yeah, that's a little bit strange. I think even going with chemistry as well and switch to bombard cannons, heavy camels and halberdier. That's quite a decent combo. Yeah, this is just like you said. It is just so slow to get out, and even with 2 castles, he only has 6, 7 elephant archers out.
Yeah,
and he's not even elite.
Exactly, he's not got those techs yet. He's not got. He doesn't even have an archery range, so he can't do Parthian tactics. He's only got a bodkin arrow. He doesn't even have +2 defense yet. And oh wow, okay, Lierey's gonna throw a few vills away, but
yeah, just for nothing.
Yeah, why not? It's not like he's already at 125, so it's fine.
It's cheap Indian camel or villagers, no problem.
Easily replenished. But I think that, you know, if Liereyy switches into Imperial Camels here, he's got a really good answer to the Elephant Archers actually. Because as we know, they get the extra pierce armor, the extra health from the Imperial Camel. And these Elephant Archers are really good anti-archer units, but they're cavalry at the end of the day. And the Indians are probably the best best anti-cavalry civilization in the game. Obviously, the dynamic changes a little bit when they fire back from range, but they're pretty short ranged, and I think they'll go down very quickly to camels from Liereyy here.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand the thought process of Slam, but I guess he is doing the elephant archers because they still are tanky, like really tanky versus Arbalest, and even halberdier have quite a tough time getting them down because they just have so much HP. But for now, he's just giving Liereyy so much time to build up an army and even a counter army.
And that's exactly the thing, though, isn't it? I think you just absolutely hit the nail on the head. Like, he had Liereyy confined to a small corner of the map, and then he's kind of backed away and given him so much space to now actually break out. And actually, it's now Liereyy who's pushing Slam away. Slam's lost this second castle back here, and the third one's about to go down by the looks of things.
Well, good thing he did get chemistry, so Slam is now getting his bombard cannons out again, or he is getting them out now. Yeah, it's all quite slow.
Yeah, they're definitely a slow civ to get to that late game sort of death ball style army, but this is why we were saying before, you know, it's so common to see the Indians just defend, and then do what Lierey's doing, which is actually now push out in mass. Just had a bunch of vills die. I think Lierey's killing his own villagers now, maybe. I'm not sure. But
yeah, he is. Yeah.
Lierey's going down to the south to grab the extra gold down here. And this shouldn't be possible, you know? When Slam's got Liereyy backed into a small corner of the map, to now have Liereyy being able to go to the south of the map with a bunch of vills and grab the gold for free without map control for Slam, it's a little disappointing, to be honest. But still, has got a number of elephant archers out, and Imperial Camel is now coming in for Slam as well.
Yes, and that is a good thing if he can get that advantage over Liereyy for now. That tech advantage, he might be able to push out. Besides the Camel Elephants, if done correctly, should be able to deal with Halberdier as well. So, but yeah, his army is still a little bit small. You need some more mass, and he is very gold heavy intensive army as well. So if he runs out of gold, then he's got a problem. I don't think he tacked into any trash at all yet.
Yeah, and the problem for Slam right now is actually scouting. He's getting hurt by this lack of scouting here. He's actually coming forward with his army, and I just want to just say that, you know, that there is a gold in the north which he hasn't seen, and he's looking for gold in the south now. But this is going to be a good fight right here.
He's waiting for Imperial Camels still. I mean, heavy camels take years, but Imperial Camels is even worse.
Imperial Camels take years, and Slam, he's falling back to his hill, but he took a lot of losses there. Imperial Camel's now done, but a lot of his camels are already dead from that premature engagement. His Elephant Archers aren't fully upgraded. They're getting cut down here, and actually this is going to be, I think, a decent fight for Liereyy, considering he doesn't have Imperial Camel on the field right now. Not too badly done at all. Of course, fighting uphill here is never ideal, but Liereyy, it looks like he's coming out on top, if you ask me.
Yeah, but this is... Yeah, he did take a good fight indeed, but now with Slam with the Imperial Camels, do you see any Halberdiers left? They did go down quite quickly.
Yeah,
so if Slam can manage to get more out, then he should be somewhat fine. But he's still getting Elephant Archers out. That's... Yeah, wow. I don't know about that.
Slam losing the hill. He's going to lose his Treb as well. And yeah, Slam's now retreating back behind his castle with what little army he does have left. And yeah, Slam down to 12 military units, whilst Liereyy is at 52. It was a great fight for Liereyy. He was able to do that even without the Imperial Camel upgrade. And I think the Halbs did play a big part in that. But I think it was actually more the fact that he just had a really varied amount of units in that fight. You know, he had Halbs, he had Arbs, he had some Skirms, he had the Camels, he had the Bombard Cannon at the back. And it all just kind of came together to push Slam off of that hill. I mean, yeah, I think the Elephant Archer... It's a good idea, but without the elite upgrade, without Parthian tactics, they're just not as tanky as he needs them to be. And now Lierey's got a huge window in this game.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Slam did invest so much into the Elephant Archers, like all the archer upgrades, that he kind of has to make them now, I guess. And he doesn't really have the gold right now. If you look at the resources, only 160 gold banked up. Yeah. And he does have still 1 gold in the base, but that is going to be gone quite quickly as well.
Yeah, he's got the one the one in the sort of middle he's got, but he's not scouted the one at the north, and he's not scouted the one at the south either. He's building what outposts so he can see the map. Now he's going to see it, but Lierey's already down there, and Lierey's already got a good majority of, he's got over half of that gold already, and he's going to mine that up super quick. By the time Slam sends anything down there, Lierey's already gotten more than enough out of that gold mine. So Lierey's going to actually find the gold at the north as well, and that's pretty huge. Lierey's going to win this on map control, I feel, at this rate.
Yeah, well, especially the gold control is important here, as Liereyy now is getting out Imperial Camels as well, and then he has just such a nice army composition: Imperial Camels, Halberdier, Bombard Cannons. He basically has every unit in the game, or at least every unit he needs to push out.
Absolutely. He doesn't have full upgrades on the Halbs, but he does have Blast Furnace coming in, and that means he's going to have the extra +2 attack on his camels as well, compared to Slam, who just doesn't have the resources, or hasn't had the resources to upgrade Blast Furnace here. Slam's doing Siege Engineers right now, you know, wanting that additional range, but he's just lost another castle, and I think he lost another, I think that was his castle, yeah. Slam's now just definitely on the back foot. If Liereyy is unable to win this from this position, I would be very surprised. But let's see how Slam decides to defend this hill.
Well, he doesn't really have a lot to defend with. He does have the 1 Bombard Cannon, whereas Liereyy has 4. So, and also traps. I don't see how Slam could realistically defend this hill.
Not at all. I mean, this is the thing as well. Liereyy, I mean, don't be scared, Liereyy. Don't be shy. Send those Imperial Camels in. They can just storm up this hill and kill these elephant archers, no problem. There we go. He's going in now, and even with the uphill attack, like they're going to tear through those elephants. Wow, yeah, they're going down quick. Meanwhile, the castle is coming under such heavy fire, and I think Liereyy can even afford to throw away his camels here if it means taking out the bulk of Slam's army, and he'll do just that. I think this is GG right here, to be honest with you. If this castle goes down, I just don't see how Slam's going to defend. There it is. It's a Wallalo GG from Slam, and what an interesting game, really.
Yeah. It was, yeah, it's just so, I think it was down to the decision of Slam to make the elephant archers. That cost him a lot of resources, and he didn't do a lot with it at all.
Yeah, it's just so such a I don't want to say strange decision, but it's not something I would have expected Slam to do when he's got Liereyy, like I said, pinned inside of his corner of the map. He's got 4 trebuchets. He's taken down Lierey's only defensive castle, and he could just push in. And Liereyy is able to defend that with like a few arbalest. And then Slam's like, oh, he's making arbalest. I need to switch into something to deal with the arbalest. Oh, I'll go in, for the elephant archers. And then just immediately after having this big advantage, just fall back and give Liereyy the map control back, give him a free castle, donate that to the Liereyy fund, and then and just sit back and then defend for the next 10 minutes after you've already got them in the corner. And
yeah,
it's so interesting to me that he did that instead of maybe going for Imperial Camel and just powering on through.
Yeah, in early Imperial Age, at least when you do have Imperial Camels, they do quite nicely on their own. And the thing is, if you would have infinite gold in, for example, a team game, then elephant archers, if you fully upgrade them, then they really are, you know, tanks with archers on the back. But yeah, he didn't have infinite gold, and he didn't even see his own gold, so that hurt him a lot.
Yeah, again, that's another thing. The fact that he had all that map control, but he didn't find the additional gold piles on the map. And I mean, I don't want to like sound overly critical of Slam. Obviously, he's a miles better player than I am. But obviously, from our perspective, we can see that, you know, he didn't find the gold in the north. He didn't find the gold in the south, even after he had all that map control. And it's something that he overlooked in that game that actually ended up costing him quite a lot as that gold ran dry at the end. But let's have a quick look at the stats. I do want to see the overall. I mean, if you look at this, right, Liereyy lost 185 units and only killed 126. But in the end, he had over double the military, so it doesn't really matter that he lost all those units because he was able to outmass Slam at the end, and Slam had no way to defend from that ultimately. Slam even had the bigger eco. Like, he had more stone, he had more wood, he had more food, but he just fell down on the gold in the end.
Yeah, if he would have invested earlier into trash, he might have had a chance to do a little more, but yeah, he didn't get any trash in the end.
So very nice game, actually. I really enjoyed that one, and that was our first Indian war. We are going to go now into game 3.